Uh, and of course, he's going to be joining me on the show today. Now, why am I bringing this person in? On the show today is because he's got a whole lot to tell us. Yes, we are passing through a very serious and a challenging moment in our country, Nigeria. It's not been easy. It's not been funny with people. I've got callers every day who call in to complain about, the communities, talk about government, talk about their families, talk about business, talk about finance, and so many other things. It's like I said, it's a very, very challenging moment. So that's why I wanted us to just have a conversation with my guest here today. Yes. Let me also let you know that he is the owner of a TV station.
Correct.
In the United States. Am I right?
Correct.
What's the name of that station again?
Live Zone Television.
Live Zone.
Yes.
Television.
Yes.
Good. Now let's talk. Let's get to business now. Like I said, what would you say to someone who is who has been begging government for basic things of life, like begging government for water, for electricity? How would you communicate with someone who is looking at life like, are you sure there is something I have here? Are you sure the next thing is not just to go and stay in the confines of my house and my room and just wait till that comes? What would you say to someone who has no hope basically of anything? Someone who feels, well, the government is supposed to provide food and some basic things for me, but then nothing is available up until now. What would you say to that kind of a person? I'm just trying to paint a picture first. Let's start from there.
Wow. Well, first of all, Mr. Jude, thank you for having me on your radio show and on this radio station.
Yeah.
And I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's listening right now. As a matter of fact, why don't you just call somebody else to tune in right now so that they can hear what I have to say. But for someone who's going through what you just described, two things I would say. One, never give up, because there is light at the end of the tunnel. So even though it looks really dark right now, it will not always be dark. Whenever you're going through anything, whatever you're going through, it seems as if this is it. But if you give it a few more days, if you give it a few more weeks, you realize that, no, this is not it. There's something better in store for you. So don't give up, right? So I'll inspire someone to let them know that there's a chance, there's a possibility that something can change and can be better. When I look at the pandemic, for example,
okay,
even though pandemic is negative, but pandemic is also positive, because for many
how so?
people, oh yeah, I'll tell you.
Okay.
For many people in the United States, for example, the pandemic was like a rising up for them. What could have destroyed them, now opened an opportunity. So practically, for example, in the US, there was all kinds of aids that were given. So people got, I remember one particular client of mine, he got about $140,000 that would never have come into his pocket had it not been for the pandemic.
Oh, really?
Yes. And there are many people who were pandemic millionaires, right? So a problem turned into an opportunity. And the reality is this, that anyone who's feeling down, depressed, discouraged about whatever is happening in their community right now, they're looking at it the wrong way. You want to begin to look at the circumstance and the situation you're in and begin to think, okay, what is the way out apart from the government? Because if you're saying, well, the government is supposed to provide certain amenities and they're not providing it, well, are you going to keep on waiting on that? Or are you going to say, you know what can I do for myself? How can I help myself? Right? And there is a way out. There are things you can begin to do to help yourself. And I'll get to that, momentarily. But
beautiful.
Definitely things you can do to help yourself. But let me let you talk.
There are things. No, I want to take you from there. There are things one can do to help himself. in a hopeless situation.
Correct.
You feel there are things, some Nigerians, some people, the downtrodden, like we call them here the talakawas,
Yes.
can do, to give themselves hope.
Yes. So
Really?
you see, apart from the encouraging,
You have no money, for instance. You're looking at someone who doesn't have anything, no money, no source of income, nothing at all. A whole lot of listeners,
I love what you just
don't have nothing to fall back to.
That's
A
right.
lot of persons are even tuning on to a radio station, or tuning in rather to a radio station, to want to ask for one favor or the other.
Correct.
So, how are you going to put that?
I love what you just said.
Okay.
You have no money. Because you know what? I teach about, for example, starting businesses with no money. Right? So,
Okay.
you have no money doesn't mean you are hopeless. You actually have a lot going on for you. You see, there are all types of capital. Money is just one of them. There's the human capital, right? There's the talent that you have. That's a capital. I started Lives on TV with no money. No money.
Really?
Yes, no money. I have a house, and in the basement of my house, 5 by 8 space, 5 feet by 8 feet space, was where I started my TV station. This space is bigger than where I started my TV station, and I had no money. I remember going to the the cable network, and telling them I would like to have a TV station, and they asking me two things like, do you have like a broadcasting education or something? And I said no. So I didn't go to school for journalism. I didn't go to school for broadcasting, nothing like that. And they asked me, do you have $50,000? And I said, I don't have anything. So the guy said, you know what, forget it. And I said, I can do this. Let me be the first to bring a faith channel into your cable system. And I kept going back and forth. They kept telling me no. 8 months later, they said yes. Now, the equipment that I need, the encoder that I need to be able to receive video so that they could broadcast that, I didn't even have money to get that. They had to bring an old encoder from their own station and brought it to my basement. All I needed to do was to make sure there was internet and supply video to that encoder, and boom, Lives on TV started. No money.
Really?
I bought a house with no money, a 3-family house with no money. So it's possible to do things with no money. But let's come back to the Nigerian system,
Beautiful. Exactly where I wanted you to come to.
because somebody will say like, wow, but that's the US.
For this Niger.
Now, in the Nigerian system,
Okay.
again, you need to know the capital you have. You may not have money, but you have something else. So, for example, if you have certain talents, so the first thing, anyone who feels like they're hopeless, the first thing you want to do right now is take a stock of yourself, of the gifts that you have, of the talent that you have, of the know-hows that you have. I remember doing that in the US, and I came up with about 90 things that I can do.
90
things. You know, I can create a flyer, I can do this. Like, I came up with 90 things, and I decided to make a big board, like signboard. You know, I couldn't put all 90 things, but I put a lot of things on that board. Actually, that was what led to Lives on TV starting, because it was an owner of a newspaper that saw the list, my board, and reached out to me and said, hey, I want you to. So I put on that list web development, because I could build websites. So he called me and he said, hey, I have a newspaper company. We need to redesign our website. Can you do that for me? And he said, in exchange, we will let you put your ad in the newspaper. So when I went to see him as we were talking, then he looked at the flyer and I put video production. Now, I didn't do video production, but I have a friend of mine who did. So I put it on the list. And he said, you know what, let me show you. I see video production. Let me show you. I have a TV station here also. So he showed me about 5 different channels that he had. And I saw that one of them was supposed to be a Christian channel. But that Christian channel, instead of them, you know, like showing Christian content, it was more like Babalawo kind of a thing going on there.
Okay.
And I said, this is not a Christian channel, because the man himself was not a Christian. He just wanted to make money from churches. So, and then I said, you know what, why don't I partner with you so that we can build a proper Christian channel? So he said, okay, fine. we agreed 30% will be mine. So I came up with a contract, and then I put in the contract none of this babalawo stuff, because churches will not be comfortable seeing this kind of stuff in a Christian channel. So he looked at me and he said, you must be out of your mind. Do you know that was what led to me now deciding to go to the same cable network as, to pitch to them about the idea of having my own TV station? So what I'm saying is this: any Nigerian right now, take a stock of yourself. What do you know how to do? Do you know how to bake? You know how to cook? You see, that cooking you have been cooking, and all your family members are saying, wow, you're the best cook in the family. You can become, you can start a business with that. You can buy a little something and start cooking. You can ask some of your friends and say, you know what, I want to cook, and maybe distribute it to people in the neighborhood or something. You can start something very small. But the thing is, a lot of people are looking for, oh, I need this big capital. And I'm saying, why don't you start small? Sometimes you can negotiate. So you can approach, for example, somebody approaching this radio station and saying, hey, I have something to offer. I have something to say to Nigerians that can really, really make a difference. And they pitch to you or pitch to the owner of the station, and maybe they really impressed you or impressed the owner of the station. They say, you know what, you have something to say. How about we bring you to come and say this thing, 10 minutes a week or something like that. Do you know that from that little thing, it can spread like wildfire, and boom. So I'm saying, take a stock of yourself. There is a lot inside of you. You're busy looking at the big money, you're looking at other things, and you're not looking at what you have. You have a lot already. So that's something I will say. But then also, I will say, bypass the system. Because if you say, well, but nobody's really paying, nobody's really hiring these days, guess what? They may not be hiring in Lagos, but they're hiring in America. And you can actually be working in America right from Lagos. What? Yes. So I have websites, for example, that you can, maybe you know how to design a flyer or something like that, or you know how to, most people these days with smartphones, they know how to put music with their picture.
Oh, yeah.
So if you know how to do that, do you know that somebody will pay you $5 and $10 to do that? By the time you convert that $10 into Naira. That's 10,000 naira. Of course. So you get a few people giving you 10,000 naira, on a daily basis or something like that. You're making your own salary. You're not waiting on government. You're not waiting on anybody else.
Of course.
You go to a website like Canva, for example, it allows you to be able to design little. You don't even need to have gone to school to learn web graphic design or anything like that. You just go there and start playing with the app. Before you know it, you master it. And then you go to a website like Fiverr and you create your own profile, and people begin to book you from London, from America, from everywhere. As a matter of fact, there's a gentleman I met when I came here in January. It was through that Fiverr thing that the American pastor who connected me with him, they met each other through Fiverr, because she needed some work to be done. He was the one on Fiverr that was employed to do it, and that's how the relationship started. Then I got to meet him. But there are opportunities like that. It's just that many people are not thinking like that. So I'm saying that begin to think of bypassing even that system that you feel like is constantly failing you.
Bypassing the system, one will remind you of what we call the Nigerian factor. Yes. The economy, a lot of things. I can't start mentioning now. A whole lot. You want to start. Like you were asking someone to, that you advising, you said people can start business without money.
Correct.
Because you did, and you got a result.
That's right.
They will tell you that is America. This is Nigeria. In fact, some persons feel here in this country nothing works. I feel that the mindset that some of us have in this country is the number one thing.
Oh, definitely.
Of course.
I'm glad that you're actually bringing that up, because that's something I should have even mentioned first.
Okay.
Right? So part of being able to change the narrative for your life is first of all working on you. You.
Yourself.
Yourself. I'm going to be doing a success dinner in the US at the Ritz-Carlton, very prestigious hotel, $1,000 a night for a room there. And I'll be doing a seminar there. And I'm focusing on upgrading you. So in order to upgrade you, because here's the thing, your current mindset cannot take you to the next level you want in life.
Say that again.
Your current mindset cannot take you to the next level that you want in life. Your current mindset only took you this far. If you're going to go to the next level, you need to change your mindset. There is a way people reason on the top that's different from the way people reason at the bottom. So if the same, we the masses, we are struggling. If that's your talk and you want to continue to talk like that, then you remain we the masses. But there has to be a change in the way you see things, your approach, so that you can go to the top. I remember having to counsel a businesswoman earlier, and I said, wow, I see the Nigerian system in the way you run your business. Okay, so you collect, some money, and then you give them less than what they actually pay for.
Okay.
You just kind of find a way to mix it so that they would not know that you're actually giving them less than what you pay for. And I remember having to counsel them, and I said, hey, no, we need to change standards here. Let's give people exactly what they pay for. So if that means that you will not take certain clientele, to make sure that you're really giving people what they pay for, then so be it. But this thing where everybody's used to it, give me 100K, we'll give you 40K worth of work. But you will not know what is going on. They have a way they kind of cover it all up, and you have worked away with 60K, but they really paid for 100K, right? So mindset is key. You cannot begin to change your life if your mindset does not change. As a man thinketh, the Bible says, right? As a man thinketh, so is he. So you look at your life and you say, you know what? Do you know that how you are, where you are right now? Forget about the government for a second, because guess what? In the same government.
So you're asking Nigerians to forget about government?
Forget about what you think government is doing or not doing, because here's the thing: we can blame it all on the government, or we can take part of the blame and say, you know what? I also have some work to do in my own mindset. Because guess what? Okay, some people are struggling, and some people are Radisson Blue right now, and they're having millions there. And some people are Sheraton, and they're eating, a lunch that costs like 20,000 naira or something like that.
Okay. Another
person is saying, I can not even get 1,000 naira. So what's the difference? Now, of course, somebody may say, well, some people are just privileged. No, it's more than that. Some people are also making waves for themselves. Some people are also saying, you know what? I'm transforming my mindset so that now I can begin to see differently. You see, it's a transformation of mindset that says, in the problem, let me find the solution. Do you know that money is a reward for solving problems? So instead of complaining about problems, analyzing problems, discussing problems, crying over problems, look for a solution for problems. When you solve problems, money will flow. It's a mindset shift. Until you change your mindset, you remain where you've always been. Or you keep complaining. Stop complaining already. Start to think solution. Become a solution, minded person. Become somebody who's thinking solution. When you begin to think like that, you'll be surprised that ideas begin to flow into your head. You'll be surprised that, wow, you can go to someone and say, hey, I have the solution for this problem. They say, what? You have? Okay, fine. How much do I pay for this solution? Here's the amount. Do you know that to create that solution, it could just be an idea? It didn't cost you anything. It's not like, okay, I need money for that. So ideas, somebody said, rules the world. So you're not paying for the idea. The idea, as you think, of course, you spend time thinking. And by the way, for those of us in the faith community, don't just pray, think. Because after you've prayed, then think. As you think, ideas come, then you think of a solution to offer to someone. And of course, package it right. And that's part of, now, which leads to the next thing, educating yourself, learning some things. Okay, I have ideas, but how do I package this idea to then get money, right? Because you may have an idea and you start giving it away everywhere. Now, for example, I'll give you an example. Okay. Myself now, I have this ability. It's like a God-given ability. If you tell me what you want to do, I'll tell you 20 ways to do it. Just like that. I just have this natural, I'll just come up with ideas. Then eventually I said, you know what? Since I know how to do this is a way for me to make money. So I packaged together a coaching service. So you come and sit with me for an hour. I charge you anywhere from, the least is $99, and I talk to you. You tell me what you want to do. You take your pen out, paper out, and I start telling you what to do. For 1 hour, you are so excited, but you've paid me $99.
Wow.
Do I need money to make that? No, I need ideas. So to say, well, if you don't have money, you can't do nothing. No, it's because
you know why I went that route is because, you know, here we have ideas in Nigeria.
Yes.
I have ideas. My friend has. We all have ideas.
Correct.
But maybe the idea that I have has to do with something, producing something that is cold, right? And then there's a country that light no day. You understand?
Correct.
Like you need a refrigerator to work with.
Correct.
You don't have the money to buy fuel. You want to just you're relying on government solely to help you with the normal power, all right, to refrigerate your stuff. Or maybe it has to do with agric. You want to go into farming, and you discover that, hey, I need a right location, and you got it. Fine. But they tell you insecurity, all right? Farmer header clashes and all of that, and you are forced to go back into your shell and relax. Now, I'm trying to paint the scenario of what some persons might be thinking or going through right now. If I ask you what you have to say to that kind of a person, what would you say? How would you advise this person?
So, you know, in changing your mindset and having the right mindset, one of the things you can learn to do is, if I cannot get rid of the mountain, if I cannot break the mountain down, then climb the mountain, right? The whole idea is this: adaptability is key. Sometimes going back to the drawing table and saying, okay, based on the current condition, we cannot do or carry out certain aspect of these ideas yet, but what can we do for now? What can we do for now to eventually get us there, to the point where you're not depending on the government's power again? You're able to, you know, I mean, although that's not the way the developing world does it, with this generator stuff making noise all over the place, but if that's what you need for now, then that's what you need. There are people who are using generators, for example, Sheraton, you know, I mean, there are generators there.
Yeah.
If the light goes off, boom, within a few minutes, the generator has
Golden Tulip alongside. They also use generator.
Okay, so look at that. So, but you have to do what you have to do, right? But you cannot say that just because the government's not providing this, you'll never be able to execute whatever ideas you have. Sometimes you just have to now do it in phases. Phase 1 will generate the income to be able to move into phase 2, right? And then phase 3 and 4 and 5. So sometimes you just have to go in phases, right? So that's always, I mean, of course, we can always then look at each person's unique situations and then begin to think critically, okay, what is the way around this? But it's never to just go back to the shell. And of course, there's something very important. Let me tell this one for free right now. If you're in Lagos, Radisson Blue is right there on Mobology Bank Anthony Way. Go to Radisson Blue. Go and first of all, like, be inspired by a different environment, right? You are not looking at on a daily basis. You need to, no matter where you are, to somehow get yourself out of that place. Find a way, and even if that means your own room, turn it into a mini New York or America or something. Put pictures, put something to constantly be inspiring you about the future you want. But secondly, also go to a place like Radisson Blue. There are people from all walks of life.
You're talking about just a kind of a special environment, right?
Yeah, an environment that's just different from the normal, usual environment. Because honestly, your usual environment can make you not to think big again, can make you not to dream big again, can just make you think that's it. But when you occasionally go to certain environment, you're inspired again that, wow, like they say in Nigeria, I mean, the people that are doing this, they don't have two heads. So you too can do it. But the other thing is the networking, the power of networking. That's one of the things I've used in New York, right? Meeting different people, meeting people who are entrepreneurs, business owners, and if you learn to begin to package yourself properly yourself, start to do something little by little and begin to package yourself. By the time you meet people, for example, Sheraton or Radisson Blu that I'm talking about, you see people from around the world. You see, the white people, you see the black people, you see everybody, like, the elites, they are there. I remember one time I stayed at Radisson Blu and I said, wow, let me just go around and network with people here. I was sitting, where I was sitting, there was a guy sitting there. I said, hey, what do you do? He said, oh, I own an hotel. What do you do? Two of them who owns two different hotels sitting together. And I network with them like that. You'll be surprised that when you begin to network with people, you begin to meet the right people. A lot of people are not connected with the right people. And they are not friends with the right people. All the family members are poor, broke, everybody's thinking the same way. It's when you are talking to somebody else who is the right people that'll be giving you inspiration and ideas like, wow, I never thought I could do that. Oh, I never thought of that. I never thought of that. You need people around you who will make you start saying that. Like, wow, I never thought of that. I never thought of that. Wow, that's good. You need that in your life. So all of that, they all work together to create the life that you want, in spite of whether the government is providing this or that or not. Because if your life is only dependent on the government, then you're stranded. Bypass that and create a life for yourself.
Bypass that and create a life for yourself. This is VOP 90.3 FM. I am with Femi Akojenu. That's his name. Yes. And my name is Jude Ikami Jude. Now, before we wrap up, let me find out this. What would you say to Nigerians at this point in time? Of course, I understand that you flew from the US, to Nigeria. Of course, I also know that you are not far from what is happening down here. I mean, this is home, right? We here at home, we need some level of inspiration, right? But then, like I said, a lot of things are not working. Finally, I want you to throw an advice that will talk to a pastor, a market woman, a farmer, that talks to a doctor, and everyone, as to holding on, because it's really not easy at all. It's really, really, really not easy.
It's not.
A lot of persons are still looking for one square meal. That's my concern. You come from a place where everything is just working. Everything is working. Is there something in America that you feel is not working? Maybe I should ask you.
I'm not aware.
No, like I want to find out if there is one thing in America or two, or I don't know. No, maybe you should think. Look at it across board. Like
there's nothing that you could say is not working. Now there may be some lapses here and there in some areas, but to now say it's not working, like how some things are not working.
So you know that some things are not working at all.
I know.
At all.
I know.
Okay. So then what would you now say to Nigerians going through this pain?
Well, again, I would say there's light at the end of the tunnel. But I don't just want to say it in a religious way. I wanted to, again, what I started with, right? Believe that more is possible. But this time around, don't depend on somebody else. Begin to see that God has put something inside of you. And that if you now begin to take the steps, you'll be surprised. There's light at the end of the tunnel. But you have to take that first step. In New York, there's a place called the Queens Midtown Tunnel. So that tunnel takes you from Queens to Manhattan. So when you're going through the tunnel, you don't see the light yet. You have to continue to go and continue to go. Eventually, you get to the end of the tunnel. There's going to be an end to this problem that you're going through right now. But what you need to do is now make a move. So I want to say to the pastor, you make a move. And by the way, I'm doing a few pastoral trainings here while I'm in town. So if any pastor is listening,
is that I wanted to find out if that was where the tunnel you spoke about, the Queens, what did you call that again?
Queens Midtown
Tunnel that leads you to Manhattan, right?
Correct.
Now, But probably that's where they got that line from. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
You know, this is the first time I will actually be connecting both together.
Okay. Oh, really?
Right here.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I've never connected it. I've always known the saying, but I've never, connected the real tunnel with the saying. But that's the truth, right? Because in getting to that light at the tunnel, you don't just sit down there. So what I would say to the average Nigerian is this: make a move. Make a move. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. You keep on moving. So in making that move, of course, do whatever you need to do. You've heard me say a lot today. So change your mindset, right? So work on that. Work on your mindset. Go network. People downplay or they don't understand the power of networking. Get out of this environment you're in. You'll be surprised. I talk a lot about helpers of destiny and all that stuff. Your helper of destiny could just be one business person that you meet who says, you know what, I'm willing to take a chance on you and I'll give you a small contract. Let's see how you do with that. And if you do that well, then they can, increase on that. Or maybe you go to Radisson Blue, I'm talking Radisson Blue, go there because you can actually go there. You can actually go without staying there. I hope they won't be mad at me, but you can go there and actually meet people. Now don't beg people for money now, but meet people. Go there with your resume or go there with your business card. Go network, know people, develop friendships and relationships, so that now when you want to begin to do some things, you can say, hey, I know you are in accounting, I know you're a lawyer, I know you are a business person, I'm trying to do this, what's your advice for me? And you'll be surprised if you're not trying to beg them for something, then they'll be willing to guide you before you know it. They give you one connection or the other, and it all starts like that. You meet one person first, and one person will lead you to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. I sent you my profile and you see all these famous people that have been around, that I've met. It's because I met one person first, and then one person led me who knew another person, connected me with another person. So it didn't all happen overnight, but you make a move. So I'm saying to the Nigerians, there is light at the end of the tunnel, but keep moving. And if you keep moving, you're going to discover the light.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Femi Akojeno. Thank you so very much for coming.
You're welcome.
At least I am doing this so we could inspire people. Every day here we talk politics, and a lot of persons are like, this whole Nigeria problem, this whole wahala, we're talking almost the same thing every day, and that. When are we going to come out of this? So I felt, hey, we should be able to do something much more different. Talk to Nigerians in a different light and let them see that there is indeed light. Not the one that leads to Manhattan now, but
correct.
The real light.
The real light.
At the end of the tunnel. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
I do appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And I do hope you have a very beautiful stay here in Nigeria before you return to the US.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
This is Voice of the People, and we are 90.3 FM. I will be back with a former commissioner of police. My name is Jude, and it matters. Stay there.
For the perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos, number 42, Muritala Muhammad International Airport Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in a beautifully appointed rooms featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your everyday need is met. We also offer complimentary pickup and drop-off from the Lagos airport.
Take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant.
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So, why wait? Book your stay today and experience ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333. You can visit our website at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort. Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less. The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and cold berry ice cream, delight in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and cold berry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, First Town, 28 Adenira Ogunsanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1. Romeo's Pizza and cold berry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions.
There comes a time in the affairs of man when the voice of the people stands unique, constantly challenging society's status quo. 90.3 place of fun and insight. It is a great place of learning. It could be your school on radio. It could be your life on radio. We are VOP, Voice of the People. Know the past to understand the present. So let's bring you up to speed on important moments in the polity that you might have forgotten.
Politics as normal have been suspended today.
Detailed review plus analysis of all the local.
Senate moves to recover 6 trillion naira ground rent from property owners age 5.
And foreign stories that made the headlines during the week.
President Putin accepts defeat. President Putin keeps on coming back for more.
All of the intrigues.
CSS confirmed interest flow in store in central government.
Tension.
The process through which people come into office is far more fundamental, more important than what is today.
Suspense and political dramas.
This is a shining moment. I commend
the higgy haggers that took center stage just within the week.
You cannot criticize African countries for being undemocratic.
Join the conversation on the recap every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. only on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Study the past if you want to define the future.
Some call it life adjustments, but our world has taken a different but dangerous look.
My husband does not just beat me up, but he uses an object to forcefully remove my finger right before my eyes.
And it has hit me. The God of heaven. Oh, what God to my best.
With happenings that are alien to the human race.
I was in prison for 39 years for a crime I did not commit.
Since I clocked the age of 9, I have always been raped by my father. And now I am 18, and I still battle with him.
Unthinkable, unimaginable, and very unfriendly acts have been recorded in every sphere of human existence. Join Jude Ikame Jude on Matters, weekdays, noon to 3 p.m. on VOP 90.3 FM. As he dissects and addresses these challenges called for new norm in our political, social, religious, and cultural space. But then, are you comfortable with this new norm? Be part of this conversation, because your opinion matters.
All right, welcome back. It's Voice of the People, and we are 90.3 FM. And my name is Jude, in case you're just tuning in. Like I said, feel free to join the conversation on YouTube. Okay, just go there. We're streaming live. Get to the comment section, and of course, do drop your comment, and let's get how you're feeling. Let's feel your own warmth also. Okay, the CP is here. CP Chuksemomo is just right here in the studio. I told you we're going to be having a very serious discussion today. First of all, good afternoon to you, CP.
Good afternoon to you and to the listeners.
Okay. CP, before you walked in, I was actually doing everything possible to say something really, really good to Nigerians. I had a guest who was giving hope to the hopeless, giving hope to Nigerians, giving hope to a whole lot of persons, you know, the downtrodden, the talakawas, everybody. Just get some level of hope. And he said, everything is not money. People should look inwards and understand that they have a lot to offer, even within themselves. So that's going to lead us to, you know, where we will start today's discussion. I understand that a whole lot play that as we live our normal lives, we meet with challenges that sometimes will make us or mar us. Some challenges that will put us down, and some will give us strength, like I said. You went through a certain challenge in the course of duty, you know, at a time in life. A couple of, how many years ago now? 2 or 3 years ago?
That was
or
4 years back.
3 years back.
Yes.
And so the best thing we could do is to learn from people's experience. Understand how life is all about, so that when you get to that height, you know how to play the game. For some persons though, how to play the game, or how to excuse yourself, or how to find a way out of it. And so we have been postponing this discussion, you know, and I would want to give you the whole lot of time, you know, a whole lot of time to help us understand. I might interject once in a while. All right, but I just want us to have, like I used to, like I like the show matters. What you want to tell us is something that matters to us and to you, right? Let's just have this parlor discussion, just you and I. Like nobody is listening again anywhere, just only you and I. Okay? Yes. With that, you could tell us everything really. So CP, yes. Welcome on board again.
Thank you very much.
Yes. I cannot quote you now, but then maybe much later. 3 years ago, when did you officially resume as a commissioner in Oyo State?
I resumed in Oyo State on Monday, the 1st of June, 2020, as the commissioner of police.
On Monday,
1st
of June,
2020.
2020.
Yes, as the commissioner of police for your state.
Okay. And you left when?
I left the 15th of January, 2021.
2021.
Yes, that made it, 17th of January being a Sunday, but I handed over 15th of January. So I did.
So I think you have to
2 weeks.
Bring the microphone close to you, kind of. Yeah, just adjust it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You said January what?
I left January 17th. 2021, but I handed over 15th of January 2021, having done 7.5 months in Oyo State.
7.5
months.
Okay, just 7.5. Now, yes. Is it actually supposed to be 7.5 before you left, or something mandated that it was like that?
It was something. There was a lot of blackmail behind the scene.
Like something happened that made it 7.5
something satanic.
months. Something satanic.
Yes, happened behind the scene. And I didn't know because, number one, I don't speak the language.
Wait, how long are you supposed to stay for? Like, for how long are you supposed to stay as a commissioner of police?
Usually, you're expected to do between 1 and 2 years minimum in commands, unless something drastic happens or there is reason for you to go to a more challenging terrain. Maybe where you are happens to be like a small empire and there are bigger challenges in certain places. They might decide to move you, but not out of state command structure. That has been a practice. Unless something adverse, maybe there has been a complaint by the people that they don't want you, or there has been petitions of sharp practices of sharp corruption in writing, not gossiping, in writing. Then when they look at it, in good number of cases, they don't just look at it and say, go away. They will ask you questions to defend yourself. If you cannot, then you carry your cross. But in my own case, nobody confronted me with anything. They just did a shenanigan arrangement. Yeah, they never knew it would leak. It was much later, after like 2 months that I left the place, I now came to hear what made me to leave the place. I said, what? And the person telling me is not a small man in the system. He's the man who even signs signature of your movement out of a place. Okay. The first secretary. His name is Dan Daura. Good enough, he's alive today. And he retired as a deputy inspector general of police. He's my junior by 2 years anyway, but you know Nigerian factor, quota system and all that. He became my senior. He was the one who told me this is what you did. That was why they came and told IG they don't want you again, that you should leave the place.
That you should leave Oyo State?
Yes, that you should leave Oyo State. I said, what? They said I did what? He said it was Osheni Fatai, that he was there when he was telling the IG.
What did they say you did?
Oh, they said that all those monies they were bringing, close to 15 million, 14 million, 850,000 every month. That is the one who comes and gives it to me hand to hand, and I don't pay anybody, as directed by government house, that I just convert the whole thing to my own use for the 6 months I was there. Lo and behold, there's no single truth in this. He never gave me 1 naira throughout my stay there. Actually, the money he's talking of is usually disbursed to the state command. I am not a paymaster. It doesn't come to me. The man that is paying, as if I foresaw Wahala may come. Other CPs were telling me they don't do this type of thing in their own command. So they said, so you took time. I said, you know, whoever is eating with the devil, you have to use long spoon. That the environment seems not to be friendly. That's why I told those people paying. Everybody must put it in his own handwriting. The amount, his name, where he's serving, serial number, the date, everything. And I have them documented for the whole 6 months I was there, that the payments came. I have them today, the originals. That's why I dared Owosheni on one occasion. We spoke on phone. I told him, I wish you had the courage to do this in writing, in petition. I would have sent you to prison, even though you were a retired commissioner of police, because that is what we call giving false information to the police.
CP, yes. Who is Owosheni?
Owosheni happens to be a commissioner of police here in Lagos. He retired way back 2018 after 35 years of service. He didn't retire in Lagos anyway. He retired after going to Benue State. He was in Lagos for like 2 years and 4 months. Then later they said, no, he had overstayed in Lagos. They brought one man from Edo State, Edgar.
Okay.
Whatever is his name.
Yes.
That one took over from him. They now moved him to Benue State. He went there and did 4 months. And throughout his stay in those 2 places, nobody ever blackmailed him. He enjoyed the places from the discussion we were having. In Lagos, they gave him brand new Prado Jeep, gave him both high locks. Even some businessmen dashed him Mercedes. They gave him a lot. They gave him land. They gave him so many things. And in Benue, where he did 4 months, they also gave him brand new Jeep and so many things. You know, nothing is hidden in the system. But in my own case, he kept backbiting me behind and ended up making sure that I don't even leave Oyo with a bicycle tire. Even the land the governor promised me the day I was leaving, he said, don't worry, I'm waiting to sign the CFO. They'll give it. Till today, I didn't see plain sheet. But those things didn't bother to me, because they are all ephemeral. There are things that will come and go. The Prado Jeep, the governor said he was going to give me, Owosheni made sure they didn't give it to me. As soon as I left, the person that colluded with Owosheni to remove me, who took over, was handed that Jeep the first day in office.
Oh, really?
Yes, the first day in office. And by the time the person was leaving, the person left with the Prado Jeep. But what is Prado Jeep? Is it not car? Am I looking for a car, or am I a hungry person? No, by special grace of God and providence.
I want to find out.
Yes.
What is the connection with you and this man you're talking about, the Owosheni?
The connection is that he happens to be the special advisor on security to the governor. And he didn't know his position, he didn't know his limits. He was there and was trying to do the work of the commissioner of police. He forgot that he had retired as at that time. For the fact that you were a police officer and you were made you were made special advisor on security to the governor, does not mean that you'll be telling me how to run the state command. It's never done anywhere. But all the while, I just kept quiet. I was accommodating him. I was tolerating him. I said, well, I've known this man since 1993. We were together in Alagbon Close. I was in General Investigation Department. He was in Anti-Fraud. We knew ourselves on one-on-one. And we have been running ranks. When I became SP, he became SP. When I became CSP, he became CSP. When we all got to Assistant Commissioner at the same time. But because of Nigerian factor, he was a PA to Pari Osayende, who was chairman of the Police Service Commission. From nowhere, they just carried him, gave him special promotion to DC. That was how he left us. And he retired at the end of 2018. I think December 31st, 2018, after 35 years. So whatever all the blessings God gave him, out of greed and wickedness, he was not satisfied. He was not contented. So as special assistant to the governor on security, he felt he will just clamp me down. I'll be an armchair commissioner of police. Then he'll be running the command.
Okay.
And it never works that way because in his own time, he had absolutely no interference from the government house in Lagos and even in Makurdi, Benue State. So at the end of the day, the man kept on feeding the governor with lies and all sorts of blackmail against, and I didn't know. But sometimes the utterances of the governor seemed to show me that all was not well. And each time I tried to, feel his pulse to find out what exactly was the issue, he would laugh over it and look for one thing, and politician, he would look for one thing and tell me and change the topic. I said, okay. And I kept doing my work. My happiness is that all through my stay, I was very, very professional. I didn't allow sharp practices. I never allowed anybody to be dehumanized. One of my 2 cardinal points was respect for fundamental human rights. And I warned them, if I get complaint against you, I'm going to remove you. Don't keep people longer than necessary in detention. And bail is free. If I get complaint that you're collecting money for bail, pack your load and leave. Because I have not given you target. I didn't ask you to go and bring money for me.
Why didn't you give people target?
Why will I give target? Target is corruption now. You tell people that you must bring this every month. If you don't bring it, I remove you. That's what a lot of them do now. I don't know whether they still do it now. But they used to do it.
Commissioner of the police?
Yes. Tacitly, it's not in writing anyway. It's like body language. And many of them, they were so corrupt. I don't need to come out here to be calling names. Because it will be like generating bad blood. But many of them were terrible. And I see any money you're taking by force from anybody has cost money. I never took money by force from anybody. I'll do my job. If you later come and say thank you, so be it. If you don't, no problem, just go.
Don't you think that's the reason why you didn't stay longer?
But I think that is it now. Because even the people, the legal aid
as a commissioner of police,
that wrote a book on me, told me that. They said before you came, it was atrocities. But even after you came, the thing became worse. They'll clamp people, they'll demand and extort also. I said, well, it's good when you marry 2 wives. He said, look, they were all helpless and hopeless. They had no opportunity of telling the powers that be that, no, if it were something to carry placard, they would have done that. To be sure I don't leave that place. I said, no, you don't do that. I'm not a politician. Anything they want, so be it. And good enough you asked me this, and I'll give you in details the sequence I went through.
All right.
When I entered in June, I was told by the governor that they are worried about the serial killer who had been operating in the area they call Akiyele. Akiyele local government area. So when I was having management meeting with the officers, senior officers of the command, and I asked, who is the DPO in that place? They say he's from somewhere from the north. I directed that they should remove him. They should look for a typical Yoruba man who will flow with the people. Let me change the strategy. That was what I did. And within 3 weeks, we were able to arrest that serial killer. Everybody began to hail me because it was like I shifted my office to Akiyele. Virtually every time I would go there, and I told him to intensify the intelligence to get information on how to get this boy. And we got him. They said this man is the best commissioner they have seen in Oyo. And then other crimes, we were making successes because people had confidence they were coming to bring information. And we were working on this information and arresting people with arms and all that. And doing the usual due legal process on them and all that. In July, somehow, out of carelessness, the man escaped from Mokola police station. Yeah. The next thing I was hearing was that it is the CP, Omoibo. He went and collected money. He collected 5 million. That's what they had, and asked the boy to go. How can CP ask the boy to go? Is the boy in custody of the CP? He's in custody of a division. And that division, when I checked their nominal role from the DPO to the last person, no single Igbo man is there. So who did I then use to go and ask the man to go? Is that the way it's done? They began protests. Some riots started in Ibadan. I now asked the governor, look at what is happening. The governor said he could have even been the one to lead them against me. You know, so that was when I now knew that all was not well. I now began to, people were coming in with this.
You mean the current governor?
The current governor. The current governor, Sheyi Makinde. I now re-strategized again, God being on my side, by the beginning of August. Within 2 weeks, we rearrested the man again. I said, oh, thank God. Because even in Abuja, everybody was bitter. They said, how can you catch this man? Everybody has been praising you and you let him go. I said, it's not my fault. I am the commissioner of police in charge of the state. At the same time, I can't be doing my work and doing the work of my subordinates. He's supposed to be in the custody of the DCCID. Not in my office. So if they didn't manage it well and he escaped, what is my offense? Rather, you would have said we should fish out the people that made the mistake and deal with them accordingly. That's the new strategy we've been using. So they said, okay, that being the case, issue query to the DCCID, which I did. But good enough.
You issued the query?
Of course I did.
Okay.
The man is a commissioner of police today. So eventually, he was lucky, the man was rearrested. So First Secretary had to clear up that query and, exonerated him from it. So when he was now rearrested, even the Students' Union body that came protesting that I must leave the state, they came back to apologize. And when the PRO and others were asking questions, they discovered that they were being instigated by some persons to protest against me so that I'll be removed from that state. So that one failed. I kept quiet. I continued to do my work. Then in August, be listening to see certain things that happen. Armed robbers went and struck some banks in a place they call Okeho in Oyo there. Good enough, the vigilantes with the policemen there blocked all the roads to the extent that the robbers could not leave the town. They began to arrest some of them and recover the arms. But the community was overwhelming. they ended up grabbing those people from the police, killing them, setting them ablaze. Now, when I had it, because it happened in the evening, late evening, I sent the DC's ops to go there and assess the situation. That the next day I'll be going down there. So the next day, being Saturday, I now entered the road with the AC operation. On getting there, we were lucky. There was one man, one of the suspects. They had beaten blue and black, but we were able to rescue him from the people.
Okay.
Now I say, good. At least this one will give us information about the gang members, where they are, that we are taking him to Assam. The community blocked the road. I said, no, we can't take the man. But we have to hand over the man to them for them to also roast him. We say, no, it's not done like that. If you do it like that, we won't have any evidence as to who are the other members of the gang. So as we had put him in the vehicle to go, they started hauling stones, bottles on me and my team. In the process, they went and began to drag the key with my escort driver. Broke the key on the ignition so that they will prevent us from leaving the place. In the process, they were using all sorts of things. They opened fire on us and killed that driver. In my presence. Yes. Killed the driver in my presence. So all the armed men who shielded me cocked their rifles. I said, no, please. I don't want bloodbath. Don't lower your rifles. Just raise the muzzles of your rifle. Fire few shots so that we can get out of here. That was what they did. So we didn't record any casualties. All of them ran away. Then the vigilantes helped us and they were removing the locks and drums they used in blocking the road against us. And we escaped from that place and came back to Ibadan. So when I called the governor, he was in one of his places in Ibadan, not in a Calabar where he normally stays, but another estate. I was telling him what happened. He said, no, it's not phone matter. Come to so and so place. I said, okay, let's go. I went with one of my aides. On getting there, I met him with Olagoseyo Ilola, the former governor of Lagos State, military governor, and former civilian governor of Osun State. They were discussing, and I joined them and narrated everything. There was no surprise at all in the face of the governor that my man had been shot dead and that I escaped by whiskers. Because when I was telling the former IG and other, they were all shocked. They said, so what was the reaction of the governor? I said, the man just took it as if what I was saying was not an issue. They said, you need to be very careful in that place. I told him, look, Oga, if you can remove me there. He said, no, that's not what I'm saying. I said, maybe you need to redeploy me to another, because the environment is very hostile. He said, no, just do your best. The people are saying that you're doing very well. That's why I'm leaving you to continue there. I said, okay, sir, I'll do my best. We stayed back. September was relatively okay. October came. NSAS started.
October 2020.
Yes, October 2020. When the NSAS started, I called the governor. I said, look, the first 1 week has been uneventful. They've blocked the roads. They were dancing, but they are not violent. That it is their fundamental rights. Let them go on, so long as they are not, depriving people of their liberty of movement or attacking anybody. He said, all right. Then later on, what was happening in the other states was what they were copying. They heard that the thing has gone violent in both Edo and in Lagos. They were like, how can we, Ibadan, just keep quiet like this? Our own have to. And they heard that they had broken prison in Imo State because that one had been waiting, boiling since. They went haywire. I now say, Your Excellency, let me give you one suggestion. Can you please declare curfew for 24 hours? He said, no, which curfew? That there is no need. That is not going to declare curfew. I said, okay. The thing went violent. They were now attacking police, going to the stations, setting the place ablaze, collecting our rifles, even killing some of our men, roasting them and eating their flesh. They tell you, I'm a human being and I'm a manager of men. So I was across road with the governor. And I told governor, as we speak, some Lebanese and Indians are calling me on phone that they have jumped the fence of their factories in Ring Road, entered their factory, beating people up and looting everything in that place. He said that what I'm saying is speculative. If I know it is the truth, I should go there myself and snap a video and send to him. This is what was coming out of a chief executive of a state. Then things continued to degenerate and got worse. Then I now said, why don't you do a broadcast and condemn what they are doing and tell them that anybody that is caught will face the full wrath of the law? He told me that he's not going to do that. So why should I? Is that they're exercising their fundamental human rights? That was what came out of the mouth of the government. All these things I'm saying, if they set up commission tomorrow and call me, I'll hold the Bible and I'll repeat everything. Because that was vivid. That was exactly what happened. When I came back and relayed this to the first headquarters, they said, don't worry, God will see you through. Because it's like two of you are not on the same page. You are being professional, security-wise. The governor is political. He's thinking of 2023. You can see where you're having your challenges. I said, all right. Towards the end, the governor called us for a meeting, emergency security meeting of all heads of military and security agencies. We all came that night. Good enough, the DIG for Southwest, his name is Leye Oyebade. He retired in December that year. Was in Ibadan. I went to see him in the hotel, Golden Tulip Hotel, Ibadan, where he was staying, where he had put up. And I told him the governor sent for us that I'm going. He said, no, he was going to join me. Let him hear what the discussion would be like. We all went there. Lo and behold, the governor was blowing hot and cold. When he finished, the three army commanders that were there, they were all brigadiers general. They spoke one after the other and told him the position of the chief of army staff through their general officer commanding. One division. That they have been given instruction that any miscreant that goes near any police station, they should bring him down. That's the end of his life. I said, well, this is good news, though it's coming late. So after that, he was asking each of the head of agencies on just the way we were sitting to shed whatever opinion about the whole thing that was going on. When it got to Fatah Yomosheni, you are the special advisor on security. You would have said whatever that concerns your office generally. He left it and faced me. He said, yes, that first and foremost, in presence of the DIG layer, the man is still alive today. So he's a good witness. He said that the commissioner of police seems not to know what he was doing. That upon all those things that happened, he did not write operation order. I looked at Layer, Layer looked at me. Then Layer now challenged him and asked him, do you do operation order in spontaneous situation? Maybe you have forgotten your police manual and duties. You do operation order when you are planning for an event or major operation, not for unforeseen circumstances like this. The thing now, as if his ego had been torpedoed. I noticed in his face he was not happy by the response of that DIG. And I'm sure he was angry that I brought the DIG in. Why would the DIG be part of that meeting? I knew that was his anger. I didn't even talk to him. Then he said, yes, secondly, that the policemen that were killed in Iwo Road, that they roasted and ate their flesh.
Ate their flesh?
Yes, they did. Those cannibals. Though we later arrested all of them. That those policemen were on illegal duty. And that CP was there. He doesn't know what is happening in his command. Leyana asked him, are you the commissioner of police? It is the commissioner that will tell us whether they went on illegal duty or they were on their official duty when they pursued them and collected their arms and killed them. So So when I now saw the man has exposed and shown himself, I kept quiet. When it came to my turn, I said, well, I don't have much to say, except that the morale of my men are down, based on the way the stations were bombed. Some were murdered, some were wounded, and our arms were lost. And on our part, we restrained, because we don't want to be held for killing innocent members of the Republic. Because when it happens like that, now they'll turn them to be innocent. But the policemen that lost their lives are not innocent. So at the end of the day, that was brief remark I made and left. Then in the end, when the governor said, well, thank you everybody for coming. Closing remarks, do you people have anything to say? Each of them thanked him. They were thanking him one after the other, both the DSS, the NDLEA, and so on, all the people that came. It got to Washington again. He said on behalf of his constituency, the police. In other words, that whatever he speaks covers what two of us will speak. And I told him, please, point of order. You are no longer in the police. With due respect, His Excellency, please, let me caution him. He can do that if I even allow him to do it, if it were two of us. But it's a serving DIG sitting here. And which sort of respect is he showing the DIG?
Okay.
It's the DIG that should speak for the police, please. He kept quiet. I now knew that from that day, the battle line had been drawn. So he went back to begin to plan what to do to me. And he thought he is God. Everything he packaged was later exposed after I left. He now went to be telling governor lies. That does he know that all the money they've been giving me, I've not been paying anybody. The whole thing is in my pocket. And the governor, because I don't speak the language, I'm not from Southwest, he could not call me to say, look, this is what I heard. Do you have any explanation to give to it? Then I would have told the governor, whoever told you this is a liar. The money does not even come to me. It comes to the office and they pay to everybody. And I have all the records. Each person that took sign, I wrote with his handwriting. He never gave me that chance. He just concluded, yes, Omoibo, they love money. Yeah, it's true, he has done that. And he carried this, the satanic ocean carried this like that and went to tell the then IG, Adamu. And before he did it, from what I had gathered later, he told everybody to support this presentation he's making, so that there's no way I'll be contacted to hear what is going on until I have been removed. So as soon as they told IG was at the verge of saying, are you sure this thing happened? All of them said there is no need. Let us replace him. Let's remove him from the place and bench him somewhere. And he said, okay, he gave instruction that I can go ahead and do that.
Really?
Yes. Only for me to see posting that I've been removed. And so is coming to the place. I said, well, it's all well and good. Then I was now waiting for deployment. Nobody deployed me. They left me hanging for almost 5 months. The commissioner of police in the headquarters. It was my classmate Akale Baba Usman that came and then posted first to admin and later back to special protection unit, from where I later retired 1 year after. But this is exactly what played out. And the day I handed over, the governor said, I should come and see him the next day, which was 16th. I said, okay. So that day, the PCRC of the state arranged a send forth for me. And I went for the send forth. I was there when the CSO to governor called me and said, Governor wants to see you now. I said, okay. I told them, let's go. We got there. He told me to come. Good enough, I have a witness whom I will not disclose now for obvious reasons. I said, do I come with, he said, yes, 2 of you can come. So we came in, we sat. He said that he called me for 2 reasons. One, to thank me for the way I had worked, that I did my best. And secondly, that he was in the US when he heard that I've been removed. And he was wondering, you have not stayed long here. Why would they remove you? And so on and so forth. I said, okay. So by the time he finished, and I said, and finally that he has approved that they should give me land in one of the GRA in Ibadan, that they are processing it. Once the CFO is ready, they'll send it to me. I said, okay, thank you, Excellency. Till today, I didn't see plain sheet. Then I now asked him one question. I said, okay, the money for December, Christmas, we were not paid. And now that I'm leaving, they will all draw a conclusion that I've carried their money and go. You know what he answered me? He said, no, that he gave the instruction that they shouldn't pay anybody, both the military, the other services. Because he heard that when it is given, some senior officers will pocket the thing. I never knew it was me he was referring to. And they will not pay a dime to any of the people. I said, well, that's unfortunate. If others were doing like that, I said, in my own case, we pay everybody. The list is there. They all take their money. They sign for it. I now saw surprise in his face. That was when he now opened his mouth and said, he gives Fatai Owosheni 76 million every month for all the services. And when he said that, I didn't take it.
76 million
every month for all those services, the allowances and all that. It was when that fourth secretary, Dan Daurana, opened up and told me what happened and how I was removed and all the people that were there when the drama, the charade took place. I said, okay, I now see. So this man may be using our names to be collecting money and then come and give us pittance. I began to ask questions from some of those commanders of these other services. From the collation I made, the man was taking almost half of the money every month for himself out of wickedness and greed of Fatai Owosheni. And I said, okay, that with time, two of us are going to cross paths. We are going to join issues. But I will wait for everything to politics to go. Then I'll get set for him. In fact, so many print media that I had, we have been chasing me around. They wanted to get this interview from me. I said they should wait. At the appropriate time, I'll send for them.
I had wanted to ask you if there was something you were doing that wasn't in tandem with what the governor wants, or is it that it is this same Fatai Owosheni that's been going around to destroy?
He was going behind to destroy me. And because I don't speak the language and I'm not from Southwest, because if it were the same people, they know themselves now, he wouldn't even try it. Because that one will go and speak the language that the governor will understand. And the governor will not have any choice than to call the man and sit two of them down and say, look, you're telling me different thing. This one is telling me different thing. So which is which? Who is telling me the truth now? I was never given that chance till today. But what is my saving grace are those documents I kept. In fact, all other commissioners who were in states who had and came to see me, and when we were asking what happened, and I told them, they were shocked. They say, in their own case, for them to for everybody to come and sign, no, that they've passed that level, they can't do that. I say it's not me that was doing it, because I'm not a paymaster, so I cannot be paying people. It is, I delegated it to those who go and collect the money, who sign for the money.
CP, how would you generally describe the rot in the policing system in Nigeria?
It has really been bad. It has really been bad, to be frank with you. And but the present IG is a God-fearing person. I have known him for more than 23 years now. From the time he was Chief Security Officer to the present President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the governor of Lagos. He will not tolerate corruption. He cannot. So I strongly think and believe that internal mechanism may have been worked out by him, whereby this rot will be reduced to the barest minimum.
Okay.
Because a situation where then some commissioners of police in some states became alter egos to the extent that people were doing all sorts of nonsense and getting away with it. And they believe that whatever they did, nothing will come. After all, they will be covered. And I don't think the present IG would tolerate a thing like that. He will not. So I foresee a situation where he will continue to strengthen the first provost marshal office, whose duty and responsibility is to check levels of indiscipline, including corruption, as well as the X-squad of the police, those who move in mufti and are given assignments to stem the tide of people collecting money on the road. So with those sections, if they are strengthened, will go a long way to mitigate this growing rot we have in the police as at present. A situation where we hear that some of them will even go to the extent of using POS to collect money from innocent and law-abiding members of the society. To the extent that some of them have even framed up. We've been hearing a lot. But for me as a person, once I hear, I always intervene. I don't mind calling the IG to report, look at this incident, call for it. Then all of them will begin to shake like jelly. But sometimes I'll call them direct and say, CP, are you aware that so and so thing is happening under your nose? They'll say, okay, I'm not aware. I say, go and look into it too. Because if the complaint comes to me again, I'll call the IG. And you know what that means. So in my own little way, I am also part of the fight against corruption. And in as much as I am no longer there, I still see it as my own contribution in sanitizing that place. Because a lot of people still look up to me, based on my experience and my background, that I can always help. And I've been giving them the help. Though after you would have called and followed it up and give all this help, the people down there will feel bad that you have spoiled business for them. But the people you have rescued will go and do Thanksgiving in the church. Some will call you and begin to thank you.
I also wanted to find out the target thing you're talking about. Is it by the Commissioner of Police or by who now? The DPO or by who?
You see, in a corrupt system, they have the modus operandi. They have a modus operandi. They don't put those things in writing when they give people targets. What they do is, he may not even say it in the open lecture, but he will use his subordinates, the aides around him, to call them, either by phone or in person, and say, look, you are not living up to expectation. Based on what he may have discussed with his principal, that you're expected to do so and so every month. Anyhow you do it, that is your own cup of tea. That's your business. That's what they do. Some of them. But I never did it throughout my career. I never did it for one day. That's why I can sleep with two eyes closed. Because I've not gotten myself involved in any sort of form of corruption. But those who had hauled in so much from those sordid practices, where are they today? They are no longer there and they are being haunted.
Since you left Oyo as a commissioner, have you had any reason to, have you had any conversation with the governor? Or a close conversation, or maybe
I've never spoken.
Have you seen him, or has he seen you? Or
I've never seen him. I have no business with him. Even my wife, he knows my wife. my wife and my kids saw him in U.S. Embassy when they went to renew their visas, and then they had not restored the drop box, so they would require you to come personally in the embassy and had some brief discussion. Then they will either renew or deny. So my wife told me that while they were there, they cited the man, but because of what happened between me and the man, they avoided him. They didn't even go to say hello to him. They didn't greet him for whatever. They just avoided him. And she said that one funny thing I remember is that my wife said that what perplexed her was that the man wanted to tell them that he's governor of Oyo. Why would they deny his aide? He came in with visa because the aide is supposed to travel with him. My wife was disrupting on the conversation. And the Oyibo woman, the white woman inside the cubicle, because when they are talking, they use some kind of device where a kind of public address system will be echoing out. And the white woman watched him down and told him, whether you're a governor of Nigeria, it's immaterial to her. That we renewed for you does not mean we will give your aid visa. I have considered it and I'm not giving him visa, period. If you like, you can go to Joe Biden and report it. Can you leave, please? Next person. That was how they just asked him to leave the place. So my wife said she heard the whole thing and just kept quiet and was just watching him from the side, but refused to, even with my kids, to go and say hello to him. Because he said, if this man were to have been a detribalized Nigerian, what happened in Oyo couldn't have happened. Because there are things they will tell you. You could have been man enough to call the person and confront, to know who is telling you lies or who is telling you the truth. Is it because he's not from your place that will make you drop whatever they have told you, trash or rubbish they've told you, you take it to 100% hook, line and sinker? That was exactly what happened. And lo and behold, some of my colleagues and classmates who served in my own home state, Anambra, some even served for 1 or 2 months, they were telling me, look, come and see my Prado. Your governor gave me Prado. I'm telling 2 of my classmates. They say, yes, within the short period I was there, I was given my Prado. Even I Hilux followed it. I said, that's very good. Even the one, I don't want to call name, the one that was in Imo, he's late now, you know. He told me that, look, your people are wonderful. Within my 2 weeks in Imo, my brand new Prado with waterproof came from His Excellency, the governor.
Wow.
I said, He said, no, it's not only him, he gives to even the brigade commander, gives to DSS. That's the tradition, and with a Hilux. He was not asking me, does it mean they didn't give you in Oyo? I said, bicycle tire, I did not see.
Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Let's have this conversation all together this time around. I want to take phone calls now. And just be as brief as possible, okay? Just 60 seconds will be enough for you, in case you want to call in. And then if you want to call in, the number again is 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. Now, WhatsApp number is still open. Yeah, it's open now. You can send a message via WhatsApp. And in case you are listening to us from outside the country, yeah, let's do WhatsApp. That is a WhatsApp call, or you send in your message. That'll be fine. Like, very, very fine. Sending your WhatsApp messages via 0700 903 9039. Again, 0700 903 9039. This is Matters on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. And my name is Jude Ikami Jude. I have with me a former commissioner of police, Chuks Enwawu. Now, let's get to the phone lines. Like I said, keep it 60 seconds so we can go around. Okay? Thank you. We'll begin from here. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ikami.
Good afternoon.
And good afternoon, Mr. CP.
Good afternoon to you.
I just enjoyed the brief history of his service in the state. You see, I want to make 2 contributions here. You see, we have a lot of problem going on in our system in Nigeria. we have a lot of problem going on. You see, one, of late, you hear people trying to distinguish Nigerians, whether you belong to a particular tribe, you are from one state, the other person is more indigenous than the other. But as at present, you will see that the mass migration from Africa, Nigeria is one of the highest in the whole of Africa, moving to other parts of the world. And when we go to places where we now reside in the diaspora, we try to get the best of where we reside. And we try to fight our right to make sure we are in the forefront without nobody trying to put us into differences, like we find ourselves saying, you are not from here, you are not supposed to be here. If you go to the US, if you come to Europe, you see a lot of Nigerians are into big sectors. Some are into politics. Some are very, very famous. Nobody try to say you are not from here, you are from here, you are from here. Sometimes I still feel, I don't know what is really going on with our people back home, that some Nigerians are more Nigerians than the other. Then for the issue of the police force, you see, the problem is, I don't know, because in the 80s when I was growing up, because I can't see that today in the Nigerian force, I used to follow my dad to watch footballs in the stadium. You will see, when you see a policeman in the 80s, Mr. Kami, you will want to be a policeman. They have their mechanics, they have their painters, they have their bands, they have the police, you see them on patrol with horses, you have the ones with the canine, the one with the dogs. They had everything just like we have it in Europe. But as time begin to go, you begin to see policemen are not even doing oddly in some houses. Some are not even sent to go and buy bread for some chairmen. It becomes the whole thing became so down that I don't even know whether we are moving forward or we are going back into the 90s, in the 1908. Because in the issue of maybe a governor trying to, also, furnish the police, like he said that some of them were giving Prados, maybe because of their work. I don't support those ideas because the state governor is not supposed to have anything to do with the police force. Like here in the diaspora, the mayor does not have anything to do with the police force. The police force have their establishment, they have people who pays them, they have their own control. They can only, relate to the governor for security, and the governor also take to handle them if they are not doing well in their own areas. There is nothing like a kind of some common or some envelopes like, oh, you did well, take this. Here it doesn't work like that. The police does not expect any good. You are not supposed to be praised because it's your job. And whatever you get have to come with the central body from the whole state, like, oh, the policemen are supposed to have this for their allocation, and that is it. Nobody trying to give you a Prado G because maybe you are a commissioner or what. So that is my summation, because the story is so touching, because I had an uncle who is a policeman who died on service. As we speak, Mr. Kami, it's more than 10 years my uncle died. We didn't collect 1 naira from the federal government. And it's so sad that we still find ourselves in such situation in Nigeria. Thank you. This is Asemota Bright. I'm calling from Italy.
All right. Thank you so very much. So very much, Bright, for dropping that. Let's take more calls now. Good afternoon to you.
Hello.
Hi. Good afternoon.
I am Olajide Edu.
All right.
I've left my radio site because I don't know whether I'm the one speaking to your station now.
Yes, you are the one. We can hear your voice loud and clear.
You see that city? I wish. It's my place. Because listen to me now. That gave me a little hope to tell the world what is happening. As I am now a prophetic man at the age of 69, I saw some cluster. They went and snatched 230,000 naira. I was sleeping under a tree at work. When somebody come tell me that those people they are going with money. Immediately I stood up and followed them like this. The people, and me, I was a sportman. When I had got hold of the man with the badge, he dropped the money. As I was carrying it, the police people in a patrol vehicle, they now approach me and tell me,
hello? Oh, I've having issues with your network. So sorry about that. I think you should call back if you can. Call back. Let's hear you. Okay, I will read messages alongside you, and I'll be taking calls. CP Chooks, thank you for sharing your experience with us. It's quite a bitter lesson, or a bitter experience rather. So sorry for the ethnic tribal whips, sir. The Mr. Fatai wishing he has fallen out of favor of the governor, and the governor is also more of a technocrat. Perhaps that affected him. Simisola sends that in. Hello?
Hello, Kano.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my dear. I greet our ex-CP.
Good afternoon. Talk to us. What's your name?
To you too.
My name is Paul, Ambassador Paul. I'm calling from Ejibo, Lagos.
Okay.
First and foremost, that man that was sitting right there with you is from my state. Then I give God all the glory for bringing him out here alive and being whom he is and what he is. He has all his documents kept. So that is his difference after God. I give God all the glory. And I have been following this program. He has been speaking for some weeks now. And I have never had anybody that come out to challenge him. I give God glory also because I know that no matter how you hide the truth, one day it will surface. But my advice to him is that he will keep it up because pardon, money, house, land, and every other thing, they are here with us. And somewhere along the line, either they leave us and go or we leave them and go. This is my advice to anybody that is listening to this program. Let's take it easy. For the tribal side, our former leaders have created that problem. And I don't know how we will tackle that problem. But the issue is this. The economic situation of this country has made many people, even non-Igbos, to realize what Igbo man have been passing through since 1970 when the war came to an end. The thing that they were passing through has started to fester and be touching each and every one of them. Now many people are coming to Igbos to join hands so that we will rescue Nigeria. I give God glory to that. For example, the last presidential election here in Lagos, it was the Yorubas that did campaign for the Igbo man and the Hausa. It's not the Igbos that did that campaign. It was the Yorubas and Hausa that did that campaign for the Igbo man. I give God the glory. I will only tell you, Kami, my brother, and voice of the people, that you keep it up. God bless you all.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate your call. God bless you too. We'll take more calls, okay? Because our time is flying, I tell you. Like I said, keep it 60 seconds. Thank you. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, CP Kamejuda. This will be calling from Ikeja.
All right.
CP, I will make it short because the people that are talking, they should make it short by asking questions. CP, please, make sure that you follow this thing up. Number one, make sure you get to the governor for your state. Make sure you get to him, governor for your state. Don't say that you don't want to see him. Put all these things through to him so that all those things that happen, he himself will be ashamed of himself. That is the greatest punishment you give to him. I bet you, if he goes, he hears you out. Is it by writing, documentation, through audio, and how you want to do it? Let him hear it. And you have to go to a national television. This is how we are going to rescue Nigeria. If you don't do this, if you need support, let people like us know. You have to go to a national television. So Nigerians will know this. So that the police force will know this.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
CP, I won't ask you. Let me just hold on. I won't ask you that. This person says, it says, good afternoon, CP and Mr. Jude. I am Christian from Ilasa Maja. So I enjoyed your exposition concerning the system of bad policing. May the good Lord keep you, sir. Okay, let's go here. Good afternoon. Yes, hi.
I was the one talking that time that I took some money to police. That I was suddenly cut off. I don't know whether you don't want to hear what I want to say.
I want to hear what you want to say, but your network had the issues.
The way he has been, all his stories. That's why I bring out my own. And that's why I'm bringing it out now. I want the public to know that there are honest people that see 230,000 in 1985 and carry it and give police. The area commander's name is with me and everything. But 3 years after, I saw one of the sergeants that we counted the money in the area commander's office. He asked me, Oga, how do you bring money to our office? I said, yes, I'm the one. Why don't you come again? He said, this person, I don't want me to mention his name until when I see that I'm biased by correct people. Now I have his name. He was the area commander at that time, 1985. Yeah. He said the man, when he was posted, he carried the whole bag of the money away. Nobody didn't give anybody, and nobody came for the money. He said, I should have come now to ask. I said, I don't know. I thought I should be police. Anytime I remember this thing now, he always put me in the state of depression. And I say, oh, if only police service commission will call me, I want to face that man. I know that some of the workers who worked there at that time, they will still get to see them. We were fixed that planted the money in his office for hours. After 2020, now that was the highest nomination. It's painful. Anytime I remember this thing now, I'm never happy. That people who does not do all that kind of thing are being recognized. If I say he will put my name, this will commend me, police will commend me. Till today, nothing. Until that sergeant told me in 1988 that, are you not the person who brought money to our office? And I said, yes, I'm the one. Then he said, why you not come again now? The guy carried the thing away.
Thank you.
And that day he mentioned the guy name. So he carried the thing when he was going. This thing is still paying me. How can somebody carry 230,000? People who used to hear this thing tell me I can never make it in life again, which is now making my life miserable.
Okay.
When I look at myself, I am the only person by myself I carry money to police. Nobody follow me at the back.
It's okay. It's okay.
I am the only person I carry in there. And I counted here and everything. Now, I am just looking for an opportunity for Police Service Commission to call the man. Where that money is, he should let Nigerians know. Because I'm the one who carried the money down to the place. That time, people calculated that the money will buy 46 to judge 504. It's at that time. So I will have money to buy 46 to judge. And yet, nobody heard of me that I did that kind of a thing. It's painful.
Okay.
I will submit my name, number, or anything.
Thank you.
Maybe the CP can see to my work. I want to let police.
All right.
Know that is painful.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you. That's why we're discussing the rot in the policing system. CP, you want to say something about it?
No, he has. It's so painful what he has been narrating. These are part of the rot we are talking about.
This person said, good afternoon, our distinguished guest in the studio, former CP Chooks. You are my role model as far as the police is concerned. You have done very well in your profession as a police officer. God will always bless and reward you bountifully in Jesus' name. Emmanuel Chijioke from Ikotun sent in that message. All right. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, can you do
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We can hear you.
Yeah, Mr. CP, good afternoon, sir.
Same to you, my brother. Good afternoon.
Yeah, you're my mentor. How can you get him? Because you see, the story you narrated is not everybody can survive it. Not everybody can survive it. But all I'm saying, simply, I'm sorry for what happened to you, but please don't keep this. Because what I'm saying is, a lot of people are passing through this thing now. A lot of Nigerians are passing through what you went to your state. You know of this. Not exactly what we are saying. But Nigerians do in a way that they can never make any, they can never make development.
Hello? Oh, I think your network, right? That's okay. Somebody said, why is it that some certain persons always fall victim in this whole thing? The word of God to you, CP, Psalms 37, verse 12 to 13 says that the wicked plotted against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. I have been longing to see when he will share his experience, though it's a bitter one, but he should not lower his standard. May God continue to protect him. Daniel from Oshodi. Okay, we'll take more calls now, and I also read more messages. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. I'll take that again quickly. 0700 903 903 903. Then you can send the WhatsApp message via 0700 903 9039. 0700 903 9039. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ikamiji.
Good afternoon.
I'm Mr. Ifeanyi Nwankwo.
All right.
I really enjoy the man that is with you there. It's not an easy thing to find one goat among. I don't know how to put it anyway, but I'm encouraging. The most important thing in this our country is to do something that will help the policemen. As old as I am, I have been in Nigeria throughout my days, and by God's grace, I'm up to 50 now. So I know all about what he's talking about. I was not born in my land. As my name goes, I'm an Igbo man. But I was born in Yoruba land. I was born in Kwara State. You understand?
Yeah.
I know everything pertaining how the policeman does their work. When a man that is trying to do the right thing among them, the kind of thing he or she faces. So I just want to encourage him. God will encourage him too. Take care.
All right. God will encourage him too. CP.
Yes.
I say God will encourage you too.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll take more calls. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, it's a good day.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Yeah. Okay, CP.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Same to you,
okay, you are my mentor. You are my mentor, sir.
Thank you.
You show what you be as Igbo man. You wouldn't pass. There was, sir.
There was.
You see one thing in Nigeria, even this Lagos State, even the yard we are, tribalism is too much. I don't know if, there's one thing where P2B show one day, one of the elderly man from this area, this religion, show how if P2B be a president of this country, he will become the seaport will take over to Igbos. So if we are allowed to push P2B to become a president of this country, that he will push seaport to go to. Look at that kind of thing. Is it not tribalism? I beg, make allow us to talk. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Allow others to say something. Okay, there are some stories that I have actually wanted CP to also touch on, but then let me just keep that one first for now. Let's do this one. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Joseph, calling from Ajegule.
Welcome,
I don't know
Joseph.
if you can hear me.
Joseph, welcome.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I listen to your program. And to be honest with you, the police system is very, very bad. Very, very bad. Even here in Ajegule, what we face in police hand is just by God's grace. They arrest innocent souls every day, and they call it bailing. You must bail. You bail yourself. If they arrest you, anything 10, 11, they start arresting. And we don't know the reason of that. They will arrest. You will bail yourself not less than 10,000. If you go there to even beg them with some kind of money, they will start insulting you. They are begging you for money or whatever. I don't know. The country, may God Almighty help us in this country. That's just all I can say. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. Let's see if we can touch on something. A lot of calls coming in, like back to back. What can I do? Good afternoon. Hi, talk to us. What's your name? You need to speak up. You need to speak up.
Yeah, my name is Osadebe.
All right.
Calling from the better area.
Okay.
Good afternoon, CP.
We can hear you. Just go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, CP. I am very disappointed to hear what we went through in the hands of the young governor. I expected if some of these things happened in the past, the younger person have lived that kind of sentiment. There is nothing, even if you don't know the person, there is nothing wrong in that situation for you to say, look, my friend, there's a petition here against you. What do you have to say about it? How you act? What I just want to advise you is take this matter up. Try and put it in a book form that should be launched. That's one. Then, like somebody else advised, make sure you get the governor. Give him your own version of the story. Even if he's not going to do anything about it, let him have an idea of the people he surrounded himself around, what they do. That way, portray themselves as saints. The whole public will know the kind of human beings they are. A lot of things, because it's on air, I don't want to say anything, and people
It's okay. All right.
But it's so disgusting to hear this.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. This is Voice of the People, and we are 90.3 FM. We'll be wrapping up pretty soon. Just want to take 2 or 3 more calls, and we are good to go. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I want to thank you for the program. I've been following it. I say God will bless you.
Amen.
My own contribution is, my people say good name is better than riches. So when the CP was making his story, it was very pathetic. It was very sad. But one thing I know, God was not. God will always be just in his own way. God will always reward us. And I pray God will continue to give. When he was mentioning things that were not given, I was talking to myself, I wish I had those things. I don't know him. I would have just come and give it. But I pray God will provide for him. You will never lack in any area of his life. And God will keep his own.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, just so you should know, let me bring you all to speak quickly before I take 2 more calls, then we wrap things up. Okay, let me bring you up to speed quickly. Here, we hear that Benue State government yesterday said that the ongoing herders and farmers clashes in the state has claimed property, including farmlands, worth more than 425 billion naira in 8 local governments of the state. Farmers, herders clash, claiming over 425 billion naira, and of course property, 425 billion naira. Whoa. Okay. Well, you should also know that the PDP has criticized the proposed 27.5 trillion naira budget for the 2024 fiscal year by the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to the National Assembly as deceitful, adding that it has no mechanism for economic recovery. It is deceitful. In fact, in a statement signed by its National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologunagba, the PDP urged the National Assembly to reject the appropriation bill and argued that if allowed to pass it, it would plunge the country into economic depression. Now, presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has said that the demolitions of properties embarked on by governments are means of bringing more hardship to the people. He said that government should empathize with people even if they seem to have violated laws concerning the erection of buildings. And finally, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented the 27.5 trillion naira budget estimates for the 2024 fiscal year to a joint session of the National Assembly for consideration and approval yesterday. The fiscal document was tagged Budget of Renewed Hope. Yes, Budget of Renewed Hope. The estimate is 2.7 trillion naira higher than the 2027 budget of 24.82 trillion naira. Now, in all, security gets lion's share as Tinubu presents this 27.5 trillion naira budget. That's where I want to wrap up now. CP, security is getting the highest so far. In fact, security is getting 3.2 trillion naira, followed by education getting 2.2 trillion naira. Now, my concern now for this afternoon is the 3.2 trillion naira that has been budgeted for, security. CP, how do you look at this? 3.2 trillion naira budgeted for security in Nigeria in 2024.
I think it's a good thing. Good in the sense that without security, every other thing will be neither here nor there.
Okay.
But if security is guaranteed, all these other things will add up. In other words, all these foreign investors you are asking to come, they need to be sure that their security is guaranteed and that whatever they are investing here, they'll be sure that there won't be stories. When they are expected to be getting their returns, it will flow. But if there is insecurity, on which grounds or basis will you stand on to begin to do the investments? So that is why, like even the one you're talking of in Benue now, whereby how many billion is lost in about 8 local governments. If there is adequate security that has nipped this nonsense in that place, in the board, people will be comfortable at least in terms of food, Benue being the food basket of the nation. People will enter farm and grow enough crops to feed themselves, feed the nation, and even have some for export to earn us foreign exchange so that we can build our foreign reserve. So in the totality of it, you cannot do without security. It is absolutely imperative that you do your best to make the place conducive. Give an enabling environment where people, both at home and those coming in, can do their businesses and move around freely.
All right. I will not move out of the studio if I don't get to your state quickly. 2 questions in one.
Okay.
Number one, would you want the governor, like so many persons have been advising you, to still try and approach the governor and let him know what happened while you were there that led to your removal, how innocent you were? Would you want to embark on that journey? 1, 2. How would you sum up your experience so far, during your stay in your state?
First and foremost, if by chance I come across the governor, I may have to change my attitude a little bit, because initially I say if I see him, I'll just pass him. I have absolutely no business with him. He's not my God. But with the calls and some of the comments of the people, if I see him, I'll say hello to him. And if there's any need to chip in one or two things, I'll do that. But I cannot go out of my way to begin to look for him. For what? Is he God? I am a very principled person. The only person I fear is God. I can't fear my fellow human being. I would rather respect you, and I'll try to be fair to you and to others. But what am I going to look from him? Is it money? Or is it what? Is it car? Don't I have a car? So all those things are ephemeral. But it's good to touch them so that people will know the type of society we have, and the people that call themselves people in position of authority and the ruling class. Nothing lasts forever. That's my word for him. Then coming to the issue of Oyo, the number of people I came across in Oyo, they were quite hospitable and they were really friendly and cooperating. The only thing there is that, in every 12, there must be a Judas. Of course. The ones that were in position of authority in the states, some of them were nice. Some of them were tribal. Just in summary of it. Okay. They were terribly tribal and sectionalistic. And that is exactly the attitude they will need to change for them to have improvement in day-to-day running of that place. They need to change the attitude. But the people generally who are not involved in governance, a lot of them are very friendly. They are pleasant people. Even till date, some still try to locate me. They call me. They are even inviting me to come for one thing or the other in Ibadan. But I say I won't step my feet in that state. For what? I've done my job. I've retired. Even the friends I have there, I say, if you want to see me, you can come to Lagos. I'm in Lagos a good number of times. We'll meet here and, reconnect. So this one I gave you is just my travel in Oyo. Maybe another time, or as time goes on, I will give you my ordeal in the Nigeria police. Similar to what I saw in Oyo. It's terrible.
Exactly.
Just like many people were saying, once you try to keep things right or upright, they will not like you. They'll be looking for obstacles. They'll say, remove him. Bring in somebody that knows how to play the game. But at the end of the day, those that play the game, where are they today? Some are in their graves. And some of them are no longer in the system. That is life for all of us.
Thank you. Thank you, CP, for coming. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you, sir.
We've learned. I have learned a lot from all you said. And I know a whole lot of persons have also learned so much.
Thank you.
Well, when we get there, we know how to cross.
Exactly.
My name is Jude, Ikami Jude. I'll be here for the Friday edition of Matters. Thank you for joining me today on Facebook, Instagram. I am Ikami Jude, IKAMIJUDEH. I'll see you tomorrow. Good afternoon, Nigeria.
Dear valued listeners, we believe in free speech, but with freedom comes responsibility. We'd like to remind you to be mindful of the power of your words and the impact they can have on others. As members of Voice of the People community, it's crucial that we foster an environment of respect, empathy, and understanding. As we lead healthy discussions and diverse opinions, it is important to ensure that these opinions are backed by facts and grounded in truth. Slanderous statements and baseless accusations not only harm individuals, but also undermine the very fabric of our community. So, how do you contribute to a more responsible and informed dialogue? 1. Fact check before you speak. Take the time to verify the information you intend to share.